Morning all, we're on another long one. Today, Inverness. It's a long old day, but I've got to get up there in time to get 9 hours rest because I've got to have this in the centre of Inverness at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Extra squash. There we go, that's lovely. Bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwiches. And 2 tunnocks, which are actually a bit flat because they got squashed in the drawer. So we're still on our way to oh yeah, Inverness. Well, by the way, I haven't got a postcode once again. I haven't got an address or a postcode. I've texted the guy to say, any chance, you know, where you actually want this dropped in the morning? Morning all, 5:20. Time to do the bits and pieces and hit the road. Right, that's it. Time to hit the road in the pitch black. Parked up behind that gentleman in front last night. Looks like we're both hitting the road at the same time, 5 in the morning. Off we go. That's not a dual carriage one. Well, there it is up ahead, I guess, Inverness. They are 6 minutes, 2.6 miles away. There were some more parking spaces I could have grabbed, but nothing to write home about, so, and most of them would have involved me waiting for 3/4 of an hour just to drive another 15 minutes down the road. So we've got daylight now, Inverness. Let's go and find out where we need to be. Right, sat-nav says we're coming up on it now. So, there's that shopping centre up ahead. Looks like it's going to be a shopping centre. I need to wait and see.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Crown Road.
Yeah. That's definitely a shopping centre. And then somewhere around on the shopping centre we're looking for a lay-by. Chances are I'll go straight into it. Or dash BB. Well, there we go. So we're done.
'Turn left onto Crown Road.
I'll have to have a stop and look at the thing. Load over the next one. There was a ramp. Ah, that's it. I recognise those vehicles. Right, here we are, on site. So this morning's delivery is going to somewhere in Inverness shopping centre, which is particularly quiet. Bear in mind it's 5 to 7 in the morning, I guess that's no great surprise. Let's see where we're going, eh? Right, that's it all done. Unloaded, stripped, reloaded with the rubbish. Now, I did put this in the sat-nav earlier on. We still haven't got the daylight, by the way. It's 8:20. Well, I've been here for nearly 2 hours. It's kind of how long it takes to take that stuff off and put it back on again. So, see how long we have to go back. No, don't do that. I've got a slow tablet. So when you sort of you wait for, you think you end up clicking on things you're not supposed to click on. But right, back to base. Now I'm going to be looking for jobs on the way home. Let's just do give you a show how far this is. Okay. Right, so back to base. On the overview, we are looking at is, well, you might want to tell me how far it is rather than just showing me. But it's, yeah, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. And I've driven an hour to get here. So I've got, that's half an hour, which won't be enough. It won't be enough, which I knew anyway. It doesn't really matter because I'm hopefully not going to just go straight back. I'm hopefully going to find something on the way back because I've got 4 pallet spaces, maybe 6 pallet spaces. So I can take a Luton's van's worth or a particularly heavy machine or something like that that might go on a 7.5 ton. I'll keep my eyes out. Problem is, as problem always is, I've looked on anything in a 100-mile radius from motorcycle to 18 ton, and currently there are 3 jobs, and both of them, and they tend to be going around Scotland. So anyway, I'm going to hit the road. I'll let you know what happens. Let's rock. This is 8:30 in the morning. Christmas time, isn't it? It's just dark and wet. Alright, let's go and see the joys of Aberdeen, shall we? It may be wet and it may be grey at times, but Scotland really is pretty. Well, it is now 11 o'clock in the morning. I've been driving for 2.5 hours and we're still well in the heart of Scotland. It's a big old place, beautiful place, but huge. The only bit I've had a chance to have a go on, there was one picking up in Edinburgh. It was a Luton van load. It couldn't be picked up till 1 and I would have been there at 11:30, but I thought, well, if I've got to wait, I've got to wait. And it was going down to Derby. And I gave him what I thought was a fairly competitive price, but it didn't happen. So I'll keep my eyes out. It is a struggle. Getting out of Scotland is a struggle. Getting jobs going south can be a struggle. By the time I get to somewhere like, by the time I get to the borders, I come out kind of, by the time we get to Manchester way, but then the fact that I'm half loaded anyway kind of puts the kibosh on it, because it means I can't get a proper 18-ton job. But I will keep trying nevertheless. I shall keep soldiering on, making my way south, and keep my eye up and keep looking. In the meantime, just enjoy the scenery, eh? Well, I'm 9 minutes off my clock, so we've still got 4 hours for 52 to drive.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto A74.
Yeah, so we
towards
can
Carlisle.
safely assume that I'm not going to make it back today. I'll get close. I'll get about an hour away or something like that. And as for getting something else on the way back, it's just been hopeless. There's just nothing. You can understand why. It's just, I mean, I've been driving for 4 hours, and it's 4 hours of that's a puddle, isn't it?
Make a U-turn.
Yeah, it's
Make a U-turn. Then at the roundabout, take the first exit onto A74 towards Carlisle.
I'm going to spaces this way.
At the roundabout, take the first exit
on a second.
onto A74 towards
Yeah,
Carlisle.
Okay, so.
Make a U-turn. Then at the
Still
roundabout,
there.
take the first exit onto A74 towards Carlisle. At the roundabout, take the first exit onto A74 towards Carlisle.
Do you never find sometimes that life is just a little bit too noisy? Everything is just beeping at you all the time. I've just got some bad news. I say some bad news. My mate's mum died. He's my best friend. I've known him since I was 11 years old. He's my oldest friend. Certainly. He's my best friend. And she'd been ill with MS pretty much all of his adult life. His entire life looking after her. I just got to know she died yesterday. So it was on the cards. She was in her 80s, and in many respects, it's kind of a release. But yeah, still feel for him nevertheless. Right, 45-minute break. Life sometimes.
At the roundabout, take the first exit onto A74 towards Carlisle. At the roundabout, take the first exit onto A74 towards Carlisle.
That's the break over. I just turned the sat nav down. It's driving me mental. Joke is, I turn it down because I just drive, and then I'll end up missing a turning because of it, and then go, wish I hadn't. It's always the way, but yeah, a bit of bad news that. So right, okay, well, break over. I've now got 4 hours and 54 minutes to make the base, and of course I've only got 4.5 hours worth of driving time left. So that's going to put me in there at 6:30. So I figure, I guess we drive till about 6 o'clock. Or around about that. Might have to stop somewhere on the line and get myself a bit of tea. Might not even bother. I kind of, you know, I'm sure I won't starve to death. I've got Lucozade, so I'm fine. That's the other thing, you know, sort of, because when I leave the house, I make flasks, and if I don't go home, I don't make flasks. I'm not the kind of guy that stops and gets coffee and does the posh coffee thing. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm an old market trader's son. We used to go to tea wagons. Coffee shops is something I still can't get my head around. But yeah, so we'll get as far as we can. I know I've got to make it back to the yard for the morning because I've got a paper delivery that's got to go over to Bourne. The big reels of paper. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll end up stopping tonight, get in there tomorrow, get the rubbish off, get the paper on, and then get home tomorrow night, I guess. So it's not, I mean, it's not a bad trip, is it? Inverness and back. Yeah, it's kind of, it's like I hope that I'm supporting the firm, you know, that kind of thing. So anyhow, still in Scotland. It is a big old place. Yeah, so I started driving at 8:30 this morning, and it's not even like I was, you know, that's weird, isn't it? That's better. Well, it's better for you, it's not better for me, I can't see anything. I can see, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. Yeah, I mean, at the furthest I was in honeymoon in Scotland, and we wound up in Tongue, which is right at the very top in the middle. So, you know, Inverness might be a long way, but it's nowhere near the furthest. But yeah, so started driving from Inverness. This is going to be very shady. Started driving from Inverness this morning. It's now 2 o'clock. Still in Scotland, but probably not for much longer. I think we're going to hit the border soon. I think we're going to hit Carlisle. So anyway, onwards and upwards, going that way. Well, Goodbye Scotland. Entered in the rain, leaving in the sunshine. Still got another 260 miles to go. But I need to get it back now because I need to get this stuff off because I need to get loaded for the morning. So head down and that way. Well, the sun is setting. We've still got another 3 hours 20 to make it to the yard and 2 hours 46 on the clock. So I'm going to be stopping about 2.5 hours. I've been thinking, you know, like my mate's mum died and he's been primary care, well, he's been one of the main carers for like pretty much all his life, since he was in his early 20s, right up until now. And he must be the same age as me, like 53, 54, give or take. And I think he might be 54 next year. And I'm thinking, what does it mean? Like when you've been looking after somebody for so long, and suddenly they're just not there anymore. I mean, it doesn't, you know, it strikes me that it doesn't matter how you know it's coming. You're sure it's coming, they tell you, but mine, with my mum, I kind of knew pretty much exactly how long I had. But it still comes as a weird feeling when they go, like, you know. And also it's different with mine because my mum lived in Spain. His was just around the corner. And what it's going to mean. Also, the other thing is, I mean, one of the main reasons that he's been around is because of this. And now he doesn't have to be around anymore. And he always said, if you get the opportunity, I mean, for his long term, his kind of basis common law wife, she's from up north. And they've always thought, well, maybe there might come a time when they'll move up that way. So it begs the question, will my friends still be round the corner? I think the thing is, life changes. I know, life changes. It's changed a lot for me recently. And you just got to go with it. It's just sort of, you have what you think is going to happen, and then you find out what is actually going to happen. And the two seem to bear very little correspondence. I dare say if you're prudent and clever about it, you can probably do stuff to minimise the amount of change. I've never really been that prudent and clever, to be honest with you. So it looks like 2024 could well be a big year for change. Would it be good change? Aldous Huxley, you know, the geezer who wrote the Brave New World and the Doors of Perception, which is where the Doors, as in the Jim Morrison band, get their name from. He said, change is good for the mind, good for the body, and good for the soul. The only things in this life that don't change are dead. And I think to a degree he's probably right. Just depends on what the change is. Still, change is afoot. As the sun goes down, I think I'm going to ponder on that some more. Well, we're done again into day 2. I've got an hour and 44 left to drive because there's been a change of plan. I'm now not going back to base. I'm going to collect a pallet and then bring that to somewhere else and then drop that off and then carry on. So I think we might call it a day. I've been to the shop. Obviously I made sandwiches yesterday with my sunbest bag. I've got a cutler with I've got smoked salmon on a reduced, and we've got salt beef on a reduced, and a bottle of water, and that'll do. So not hold a bag of Monster Munch, standard. And also I'm on the A1. I'm getting rocked. I shall get rocked to sleep tonight. It never ends. It's very, very full on at the moment, but so as for the wait and return, I don't have to return, I'll ever get returned. But then that's the thing about Inverness, it's a very, very long way. So when it finally gets returned, will be a long time. But in the meantime, I shall carry on fighting the fight, taking care and taking money.